this particular unit, really units, but this particular unit in general between the 1600, which is going to roll out in Q2, and the WIPG 2000, which I was going to demo today, it really sort of fits into any environment, and that's sort of the purpose of this page than anything. So right now, we're carrying 3 models, WIPG 1000, WIPG 1500, and the WIPG 2000. They're going to change rolling into Q2. You're going to sort of combine the 1000 and 1500 models, and they are going to we Texas office wePresent there. You see his information there. Heidi Mercer is our public sector strategist. She takes care of most of the higher ed, K through 12, a large portion of the government sector, and then we all sort of share healthcare and hospitality because it's a very small market for us at this time. Again, my name is Kerry Benjamin, and I usually support reseller distribution channels that encompasses consents, architectural firms, and things in that nature. And mostly my job is, again, is just training and education for the most part. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about our NFR program. This is a not-for-resale program that we have set up for our orders. That's important to you because there's pricing difference there. We'll talk a little bit about project discount registration, essentially a bid registration program. Some pricing, which in our office is going to be MSRP. We do sell direct to anyone. Everything's done through distribution. We'll give an intro to wePresent. We'll talk about some device software and apps if you're using smartphones or tablets, some model features, and unfortunately we won't be able to do the live demo. Maybe we can schedule that for a later date, as Rick said before, our layout here today. So you're offering a 2-year manufacturer warranty on all of our models. This runs for standardized issues such as unit freezing up, not accepting firmware, not allowing you to make changes in your admin panels, the standard sort of stuff like with any piece of electronic equipment. Water damage is not included. Seeing it at the bottom of a lake, obviously not included either. So that's going to run through the 1600, and when we update the 2000 as well, it's going to stay the same. The manufacturer's warranty. We have an RMA program set up in our office where it's one form that you fill out, send back to us, and we would basically return your unit. Fix it. If it doesn't work, we'll send you a brand new one. We offer webinars for dealers. That's something that you can mention to your integrators, as well as end users. The integrator webinars, I mainly organize and facilitate. I'm traveling and I'm not in the office. Most of the time I try to work that around my traveling schedule. But the end users is done through, again, the corporate vertical or the education and government vertical. They're scheduled twice a week right now, Tuesdays and Fridays. They're done through our website. So if you have a dealer or an end user that you may know that's working on a project, kind of maybe on the fence, not really sure where they want to go, if you're comfortable with turning them over to us, we'd be more than happy to make as big of a flip as you want us to make regarding your clients. We upgraded our help desk a little bit. We have 2 help desk techs right now. One is from an integration company, the other from an IT company, so we sort of have both ends of the spectrum covered there as far as integrators and IT. They'll have a ticketing software that's in place now. So if you email the help at wepresentwifi.com or a ticket through a ticketing software, and it's really a way more than anything for the other salespeople to track their clients or their customers and make sure that their answers are being handled promptly and in a normal fashion. We're Dallas, Texas, as I mentioned, so we are Central Standard Time, and we are 8 to 5 Central Standard Time. We're an hour behind the East Coast, 2 hours ahead of the West Coast, I believe. So just keep in mind. Again, this is for the United States. We have offices in Canada, on South Africa, the Netherlands, and in South America. So this is just for really changes. The South American has changed this year a little bit, so it's really gone to third-party representation, direct distribution right now. So dealers, we're offering a 55% off of MSRP demo unit. And obviously, not for resale, 1 unit per model, per office, per year. I need to add that to this. If you have a client that has more than one office and they want to buy a demo unit for 3 or 4 offices or 2 offices, whatever it may be, I would permit that and authorize that, and that would go directly through me. So I could organize, and set up the transaction. Your dealer essentially sends you a PO for the demo unit. It has to say demo on it or NFR unit or something somewhere on the PO. You generate a PO from Ingram and send that to me with that same information. And the reason for this is that we're giving it as a 55% off discount, so we obviously don't want you guys to lose money. So once you send me that PO, I stack that in my NFR spreadsheet, and at the end of the month, I turn that over to my CEO, and he refunds you the difference in between the NFR price and your dealer price. And that way, nobody's losing or making money. They're pretty much getting an exact cost. I know it sounds a little convoluted, so if you're confused, by all means, it's okay. Reach out and explain it again if need be. We've had to do it this way because we've had some dealers that got demo units from distributors directly. They were sent out from the distribution center, and they turned in an NFR report at the end of the month saying that, oh, we need credit for 45 units, 5 demo units to one particular company, and it's just not really in our policy to do that. So there was a conflict there. Had to resolve. So to avoid that, we set it up this way. So I can re-explain that if need be. At the end, I'll make sure everyone has my contact information. So that's care of the not for resale demo units. Now we move on to project registration. This is a bid protection for resale. So again, sort of revamp this process as well. Last year, it was the first person to turn in a bid registration was locked. This year, they're actually opening that up to a 24-hour window. So it could be more than one company registered on a particular project. The reason this is that we found that we're getting bid protection, the manpower to actually the particular project, and so they might only have 3 employees, and when they turn their bid in, they're the only ones selling wePresent, and then it turns out they didn't have the manpower or the bid was structured correctly, and then they lost the job, meaning that it wasn't spec'd in on the job and the client went with another product. Sort of try to give ourselves an even playing field here with a 24-hour window for co-registration. That hasn't happened yet. It's just something that we put into place to ensure that wePresent's going to get it regardless of who the dealer may be. So we have a tier program for the registrations. The tier is a minimum of 10 units. That goes up to 49. The second tier starts at 50 units. That to 99, and then anything over 100 units is taken on case by case. My CEO usually gets involved in that, and I'm basically one that sort of makes the call depending on the amount of units. It also depends on the length of deployment, which is obviously the education vertical. That's a huge deal. If the deployment is going to go 6 months, you're probably going to get a better discount tier reduction than you would if it was going over the course of 4 years. And projects unfortunately run that long based on politics, construction, etc. I'm sure you guys run into that quite often. This is valid on a single project or a single purchase, meaning if they do have a 3-year deployment, it would have to be approved through my CEO again. If it's a 6-year one-time purchase, that's not a problem. But if it's a multiple purchase kind of situation, that's sort of taken case by case in scenarios. These project registrations, I don't have it on here, but these are valid for 30 days, otherwise specified through our office. Again, that would just have to be approved by my CEO. So do not do anything direct. Everything's done through distribution. So these prices are MSRP pricing. So WIPG 1000, the MSRP is $599, and the MAP is $559. The marketed advertised price, that's the that you can market that price is $559 for the 1000. Mainly aimed at the DMRs or the online resellers, such as Amazon, the bigger ones like that. I don't think I'll name anybody else, but those are the ones that we usually find that break MAP if they purchase X amount of units and they sat on them longer than they think they want to, or what they think is fair. Those are the ones that we sort of have to police. We have somebody that polices that. So if you hear people calling in, I can guarantee you it's going to happen. You'll have a reseller that paid what he paid for it and then finds out online. He sees it marked down, $80 or $60. Please bring that to our attention, and we will handle that as promptly as possible. It takes one phone call and a reminder of the agreement that these companies have agreed to. So it rarely takes more than that, but definitely keep us in the loop, and we will handle that as promptly as possible. The WG 1500 is now MSRP to $799. If you do the 1600 there, $599, that is actually recently changed. We've added some feature sets to the 1600 for the education vertical, and so it will be MSRP at $799, and the MAP will be $749, just like the WIPG 1500. What we do not see on here is the WIPG 2000. The MSRP is $999. Unfortunately, through our agreements with our manufacturers, we haven't quite gotten a complete release of the WIPG 2000 for Ingram Micro just yet. We're working on that. I'm hoping that that's going to be resolved, maybe even next week. My boss just got back from our manufacturer today, and they're going to resolve that so you guys have full access to our entire inventory. And the reason is because of the SharePod that you see next, MSRP to $399. That is a value-added accessory that we are selling in conjunction with the WIPG 2000. And so really right now, Ingram selling the SharePod is not doing a lot of good unless the client already has the 2000. I know that the 2000 is opened up for specific projects. So if you have a specific project is in your SKU system and you do have access to that SKU, I'm not sure of if there's a minimum number. I think you know better than I would if there's a minimum number of order. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure I'll answer that question for you. So it's in your SKU system and you do have access to it, just not for a single call that comes in. It has to be specific projects as far as I know. The WIPG AirPad is another value-added accessory. It's a strictly just for a tablet used for annotation. Built-in annotation overlay that's ingrained in our software, and so that's where this comes into play. And I'll explain a little further as we move through some of these slides here. So wePresent. Again, that's sort of why I showed you that we have customers at the very beginning. It's we work really hard to make these products, the software along with the hardware, very user-friendly, very faceted, and in that respect, we can really deploy wePresent in any environment. Information needs to be presented. That's as simple as it is. It will work on just about any network. I've yet to see one that it won't work in. If it's a hardwire connection or a wireless access point, it doesn't really matter. Ways to deploy it in both scenarios. So haven't come across a situation where it was not to be deployed. So some main sort of uses in corporate, education, healthcare, and government. And corporate has been our biggest vertical that are really throughout the course of wePresent, which is again why we're sort of trying to change our focus and lean a little more towards the education environment in 2016. The healthcare vertical is mainly training rooms and offices for COs, VPs, managers, things of that nature. We really don't see a use for it in the everyday hospital room. It really sort of falls back into more of a residential application in certain aspects. And if you notice, I don't have any residential applications on this, but it's not really set up for that. You can use it in a resident environment, but it would probably be better off with an Apple TV, so you can Netflix and whatever else it is that you use. So it's definitely a commercial grade product, and it's made for commercial applications. We had growth last year in government. It was not military. We had military bids that didn't go through, unfortunately, for some purposes, but we saw huge growth in courtrooms. I was able to get on with an association middle of this year that deployed it. They have connections with several other states and other municipalities, and so they just started kind of spreading that they're using it for their courtroom presentations, bringing in different devices, tablets, smartphones, etc. And it seemed to have a pretty good growth as far as courtrooms are concerned last year. And obviously, we work closely with digital signage in just about every vertical, not just government or corporate. What we present, very not so easy to answer sometimes, but we've tried to simplify it again as much as possible. It is a wireless presentation gateway, the best way to say it, interactive presentation system. All units are capable of up to 1080p HD. They're capable of up to 30 frames per second. They're capable of allowing up to 64 users to connect at one time to basically wait in queue to present, and basically 64 people waiting on deck, if you will, for their turn to present, and from any device to any display. And what up to any display? I mean, if you have a projector, which is what we have in this room right now, if you have a 2-inch flat that you got from Walmart for $100, if you have a $12,000 touch screen, whether a smart board or a Sharp Oculus or even the Microsoft Surface or anything like that, it does work with all of those displays. So really any device to any display. And again, that's sort of niche for wePresent. Mainly 64 users in queue. So that's a great selling point when you're going up against some of the other more popular items on the market that I'm sure you're already very familiar with. 64 users and any display from any device is really some of the key parts to pitch or selling wePresent to a client or a customer. So what we're looking at here is the WIPG 2000. We just released a 2000S model. You'll see on the antenna, the wireless antenna connection here, it's 2.4 gigahertz range. It is for the 2000. The 2000S that just released is actually capable of the 5 gigahertz range, which we find in most offices. The 2.4 range is probably the most congested. Every trade show that I've ever been to in the last 2 years, it's the same way. Everybody's fighting for Wi-Fi in the area, and it's mostly the 2.4 gigahertz range. So we realized that. And for our own benefit, we started trying to upgrade the hardware, and once we did, we realized that it was really going to be usable in commercial application, not just for our own benefit at trade shows and things of that nature. So now 2000S model should be in distribution any time now. It's capable of 2.4 or 5 gigahertz range. So We have 3.5 audio out on the rear of the unit as well. It's probably a very overlooked feature for this particular model. Main reason you have your wePresent integrated into an AV system or an AV rack. Distribution amp with input modules that support audio speakers that are in the ceiling, the room. It really comes into play in large areas, large classroom deployments, large boardrooms. You can see it at 3.5 out, and now supporting your video through HDMI or VGA, your audio is being supported through the distribution amp. So now you really have more of an audio control in the room, not relying on your display, especially when you're considering a projector, about a 3-inch speaker. So pretty much going to be able to support audio there with just a speaker from a projector. Comes out LAN port on this particular model is gigabit LAN, and it's power over Ethernet. A little bit of feedback here from somebody that's not muted on your end. Just
okay, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, we have about 5 minutes. Just want to make sure we do open it up for some Q&A. Perhaps we can turn it over to see if anybody has any questions at this time.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I got one quick question. I understand there's a little bit of overlap between Barco and wePresent, considering I believe it's the parent company that owns both companies. In consideration of that, can you help us understand how to ID a wePresent opportunity, say if there's a Barco type opportunity?
Yeah, good question. Really, we went to market with Barco this year together for the first time. Basically, there's still a stronghold in the corporate environment. Obviously, most of their products are much more expensive than wePresent. So the first thing would be budget. We find ourselves in a nice niche where if it's a low cost project, anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. We've almost won every time when we've gone up against Barco in that range of projects. They really capitalize the $75,000 and above. They're a very high-end product, and they're very well known. That's sort of the first little thing there in the corporate world. They not really deploy very well in education at all. Mason, if you're familiar with them, is because of the external dongles that have to buy, those pucks that come with the Barco system. They are very expensive, and they tend to walk off, and if you have to replace them, it's a high cost to you. But also, if you have 25 people in a classroom, you don't want to spend $5 per dongle just so they can connect wirelessly and present to a board. So those are really two key features there that we present as an edge, in my mind, as far as Barco is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Else?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. What you'll hear is the share pod. I'm sorry I was kind of long-winded there, but I have this information, and obviously we're recording this, and make sure this information is available to each and every one of you if you would like it. And then you can reach out to me at GaryB@wepresentwifi.com, and to answer some one-on-one questions for you. So.
You can close out. I know you brought up earlier about the WIPG 2000. We have that set up a system. If there are any customers at this time that are anybody comes across that's interested in it, reach to Emily and work on getting that opened up so that it can be quoted as well. And I feel confident that we're going to have that product just opened up for us here probably by the end.
I agree, Rick. I agree 100%. So that's a good point. Very good point. So I was looking at your SKU system this morning, and you do have all of our products SKU'd in, except for the 1600, obviously, which is not rolled out yet. So they have full access. 2000, of course. The AirPad is in there. Something I wanted to bring up again: the annotation, value-added accessory AirPad. Really, some good margin at if you wanted to try and suggest that to a dealer or an end user. So think about there as well. So, I appreciate everyone's time. I know we're about to run out of time here, but again, I can make this information available to anybody. I can do one-on-one webinars with you, with clients, dealers, et cetera. I think Donna will probably disperse some of this information as well. So if you have any questions, reach to me via our website. You can find me on there, or through someone in your office, or through Ingram Micro in general. So I really appreciate your time today. I hope you took something away from this, and I'll start turning the dial on some wePresents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.